Aloha biology students. This video is going to be a little bit longer than normal just because I need to go over a couple of things involving our Be Wet grant project. So let's just jump right into it. This week we have kind of a hard week. We are in the second to last week of quarter two. We're jumping into chapter 9, which is on photosynthesis, and then we're also trying to start chapter 10, which is on cellular respiration. On Wednesday, I need this to be on your radars. On Wednesday, we're going to do another one of those IAB Aloha HSA assessments. And there was a lot of difficulties with some of you that were logging in trying to do the goldfish gills one last Friday. I'm not sure what is going on with Schoology because a lot of you couldn't see the conference pop up. So, I think what I'm going to do for this one is instead of running it in class live at the same time as other students, I'm going to give you guys two options to do this either Wednesday morning at 7:45 or we can do this Wednesday afternoon or Thursday afternoon. So I'll put those times in at the end of this Edpuzzle, and I will also send those out in a message. And this is mandatory. So I actually made a grade for this. So if you guys don't make an effort to log in and do it, then you'll get a 0 and you won't be able to make it up. These are important. These are test preps. I'm not going to actually grade how well your performance is on them, but they are really important for you to get used to the testing system that you're going to have your end of course exam on. And also, for instance, this goldfish gills one on Friday, I let you guys work in partners, and it didn't really work so well for the distance learners. I'm aware of that because we were all kind of having weird internet issues, but this one was really stinking hard. And what I did for this one is I went over it in class, or the students in person, I was able to go around and help them because they were working in partners. And this one was really hard, but these are the kind of things that they're going to expect you to know how to do on the end of course exam. And this kind of stuff is really hard. So what I'm doing is I'm making a separate video that goes over how you are supposed to approach this particular IAB. So if you if you did the IAB on Friday, then go and watch the video. I'm not making it for credit or an Edpuzzle for points or anything like that. This is just going to be a resource for you to go and review it if you want to. So I'm going to make that video right after this, so it should just be in Schoology for you, okay? But this one, you just need to make an effort, come to the conference when you say you're going to come to it, because remember, I have to host these live. I can't just say, oh, go do it and I'll see if you did it. I have to actually host a testing session so it's in a secure browser. Okay. So that's on your books. So I want to do this right after chapter 9. So, write this down in your planner. This needs to happen. You need to RSVP to one of my events where I'm hosting it. And then on Friday, we have, we're going to do our Be Wet ecosystem unit, the Kahavai, which is Hawaiian streams. So we're going to do this. So if you can, tune in to a Schoology conference or a Zoom meeting. I don't think you guys can do Zoom on your computers, but maybe we can do Google Meets instead if Schoology conference keeps not working for all of us. You guys can just use your K-12 emails for that. So I'm going to, Friday's going to be a little bit more relaxing of a day. And then we're going to have some time to work on this OSAP, the OPO Stewardship Action Project, which I'm about to talk about. So we're going to have a little intro on that, which I'm about to discuss. Chapter 9, our really important IAB, that is for a grade. And then we're starting chapter 10, and then Friday is going to be more of a relaxing day where you guys can just tune in, go over, listen to me talk about streams for a little while, and then we'll have some project development time for you, okay? So with that being said, I'm going to switch over to these OSAP slides. So the OSAP, if you remember, or distance learners, I don't know. I think with your binders in the beginning of this course, with your binders, I sent home this packet. If you don't remember or you didn't get the packet, let me know and I can print one and send it home for you. You can also access it here. It's here in a PDF. I just realized that I should probably have this on here. Basically talks about the project as a whole, and then what are the expectations which are going to be graded on. So this is going to be your project for this is like your final project, and it's about, appeal means youth, so that would be you, right? Young adults, stewardship development project. So this project is paired along with our BWET, our Bay and Watershed Educational Training Grant that we got. So the purpose of this project is to get you involved with stewardship. And what is stewardship? Well, we want you to get involved and develop your sense of stewardship for the place that you live in. Okay, so stewardship is taking care of and feeling a sense of responsibility for something. So there's a couple of different parts to this project. This first one, ask a leading question. This is basically asking you to choose at least one of these focus areas to do your project on. And if you guys did that BWET brainstorm survey, which you were all supposed to do, you would know these questions would ring a bell. So here's the 3 guiding questions. And you can kind of do a combination of one. So remember we did our invasive species PBL. Well, you can work towards reducing the impact of a specific invasive species within your local ahupua'a or somewhere nearby. Or you can choose to conserve and protect a specific natural resource within your local ahupua'a. So specific natural resource would be like water or kalo or something that is like specific. So you're focusing on something like that. Or how can you perpetuate traditional natural resource management within my local ahupua'a? And this last one is interesting because with each of these community partners that we're working with this semester, they are teaching us these traditional natural resource management. So we didn't really get that with the East Maui Watershed Partnership because first of all, distance learners, I don't think any of you guys were interested in tuning in to Allison's Zoom video visit. She wasn't able to come out here, and we weren't able to go up to the Waiakome Preserve. So we didn't really get this aspect with them, but for the rest of the partners that we're going to work with, we have this chance to learn from the kupuna and learn about how they have traditionally protected these natural resources within East Maui and how they've managed them. So how can you perpetuate this, right? So these are your 3. I gave you guys that first brainstorming survey a week or 2 ago. I'm going to give you another version of that on Friday. So just kind of get your mind thinking about which one of these is, kind of resonating with you. Which one sounds like the most interesting right now? The second part of the project is imi na'ao, to seek knowledge. So we're going to have opportunities to do research on your particular area of interest that you want to do your project on, define the problem, relate it to biology, and come up with some possible solutions. And again, if you choose this invasive species, you guys have already done a lot of this. So it might just, pair nicely to keep on working on that invasive species, or you can adapt it to something else. Regardless, you will have time to do this step. And I know that, COVID has COVID has presented a lot of challenges for us this year. And there's been a lot of wrenches thrown into the plan of this BWET thing. So if we don't get to do the research topic before we actually do the next step, which is the actual stewardship project, that's okay. So let me just describe this and then I'll go back to the whole research thing. So this one is step 3, Malama Aina, care for the land. Attend at least one stewardship workday event and or spend at least 6 hours with a pre-approved community partner in order to gain ike, knowledge, on your topic and participate in stewardship activities. So that's kind of a mouthful. So these stewardship workdays I'm about to talk about, these are outside of school extracurricular activities. We're going to have a bunch of them over spring break, and you can choose to hop on one of these field trip buses and come do stewardship work days with us. Or you can, if you're really gung-ho about something in specific and we're not going to be providing a stewardship workday over spring break, you need to spend at least 6 hours with a pre-approved community partner in order to do your project. So I know a lot of you guys said like, oh, I want to hunt, because that's controlling invasive species, but that's not with a pre-approved community partner. So when I say pre-approved community partner, goes back to that OSEP packet. You can find it again right here. Okay, this is the third page of it. So this is a list of all of the community partners that this grant is actually working with. So we have Kipahulu Ohana, and this chart is just meant to kind of tell you who's this organization, what is their focus, where are they located. So if you live in Kipahulu, or if you live in Hiku, wherever, and you really want to work with Kipahulu Ohana and do some Opihi rest area, that's where you can do your project with. Okay, and we are providing field trip stewardship work days out there with them. We also have Makahana Kaike. They do dryland farming like at Mahele Farm. They also do lo'ikalo out in Wailua Nui. We also have Kahanu Gardens. They do dryland farming, indigenous crop preservation, right? They really focus on those canoe crops. Namoku Aupuni, Oko Olahui. They do lo'ikalo and stream restoration in Keanai. East Maui Watershed Partnership, I left them on here because they were our first community partner that we worked with, but they're not allowing anyone to come up to the Waikumai Preserve or do any sort of volunteering with them right now. So this one is out of the question right now just due to COVID. We also have Keauhali'i. They do coastal Aino preservation, invasive species. We have a field trip lined up with them. We have a couple more on here that you can read over. So these are our pre-approved community partners, and the reason why you need to do a project with one of these organizations that I will help you set up is because this is who we have provided, we wrote in our grant and we have provided funding for. So we are setting up a project for you with them, and then we are paying them for their time to spend with you and develop this project. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So here's our stewardship opportunities over spring break. So spring break is not this week, not next week, but the following week. So that first Saturday, right after we get out of school, we have a community work day with Keauhali'i at Mokai or Sandbar. And this one's in the afternoon, 2:30 to about 5:30 or so. And they're doing invasive species removal. Monday, March 15th, all the way through Thursday, we have different sets of activities. Makahana Kaike is hosting a field trip at Wailua Nui, doing lo'ikalo on Monday. On Tuesday, Namoku Aupuni o Ko'olahui, a field trip lo'ikalo in Keanai. So these ones are going to be very similar. They might be doing different types of work, but they will be very similar. Wednesday, March 17th, we have Kipahulu Ohana is hosting. We're going to be looking at Opihi monitoring and lo'ikalo as well. They also do traditional farming out there. And then on Thursday, we have two different stops down Uli'ino. We're going to go to Kahanu Gardens and Mahele Farms. So this is coming up. Should be on your radar within 2 weeks. So I would like you guys to sign up for at least one of these field trips. I can't make you do it, but if we go back to look at the requirements of this project, which is for your final project of this biology class, the requirements are that you either attend at least one of these stewardship work days, or outside of biology time or school time, you spend at least 6 hours working with one of these partners. So it is like a community service thing in order to develop your sense of stewardship for the Aina, for Hawaii, for Hana, for East Maui. That's the purpose of this grant, okay? So please start thinking about these. I'm going to be sending out sign-up sheets for these. I'm also sending all of this home to your parents by email, so hopefully it's on their radar. If you are not going to be here, then that's something you can talk to me about. But start thinking about which one of these sounds like something you would want to do. It's extracurricular, it counts as community service, and one of these can count as your stewardship workday, and then you can focus your project. So let's say you want to go to one of these lo'ikalo ones. Well, we might not have enough time before then to do this research topic, define problem related to biology part, but we will after spring break. So if you just want to choose one of these days and hop onto it, that can count as your time, your community service time with one of these organizations. And then we can go and refine your project a little bit more, okay? So just keep those things in mind. Like I said, I'm going to be sending out an email to your guys' parents to kind of put this on your radar. And then something else that I do want to talk to you guys about is this, where is it, this class calendar. So here it is too. I'm going to pull it up on here. So we're in this week right here, okay? So on Friday, like I was saying, we have the Kahavai lesson, which I'm going to do the intro to streams for you guys. And then on Monday, we're going to have Jerome, or Junior, of Namoku Aupuni Oko Olahui come into our classroom and talk to us about streams and some of the traditional methods that they use to preserve, the cultural aspects of streams and Lo'ikalo and how they are running their organization and the stewardship activities that they do and how you can get involved with them. So he's gonna come on Monday and talk to our class about that. So keep this on your radar because you can, be on a Schoology conference or a Google Meets with us so you can kind of get the word on this. The following couple of days, we're going to be wrapping up chapter 10. And then on Thursday, the 11th, we're actually going to take a field trip out there. So we're going to take a field trip out there with them to KNI and do some Lo'ikalo stuff and some stream restoration just to kind of like really solidify what we learned in our Kahavai lesson and from Jerome when he comes to our classroom. Friday, we're going to do a fun lab in class on fermentation. Unfortunately, you do have to be here in the classroom to do this lab. So this might be something that you want to come to in person. And then over spring break, here's the same field trip, just kind of in a different way. So we'll have a field trip to KNI Thursday the 11th, but then the following Tuesday, we're going to go back out there. We might do something a little bit different with them. I know they do more like, building channels and water allocations and growing watercress and stuff like that. So we might do something different with them on this Tuesday. So you can go look at this calendar and see what's available. The only one that's not on here because I don't have Saturday and Sunday on this calendar is the Saturday afternoon with Keauhali'i at Sandbar or Mokai, right? So just keep this on your radar because I do want you to attend this. I would love for you to come and do a video conference during this period. And then I would love for you to come on this field trip. So you just need to talk with your parents about that. I'll need you to sign a form and I will need you to be at the school by 8 a.m. And then on any of these field trip days, where did it go? On any one of these field trip days, here's the departure time. We are leaving from the school and returning to the school. So you will need to hop on the bus. So you'll need to be at the school at one of these times. And again, like I said, I'll be sending this home to your parents so you don't have to remember all of this information as I'm rambling on about it. Okay, I think that's it for this week. So huge reminders, go watch this Goldfish Gills review video if you struggled with it and you want to see the answers. You need to RSVP for one of these photosynthesis IAB sessions that can be either Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon, or Thursday afternoon. Okay. And then maybe you want to tune into our Kahavai lesson on Friday, doing a video conference if you can. Just kind of like sit back, relax, and learn about Hawaiian streams. Okay. All right, I think I've talked for long enough. This video is almost 20 minutes. So have a good day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.